Untitled.com. Hello and welcome to Leaving Earth in about 3 minutes. It is a game for 1 to 5 players. It has a solo mode. Playing time is around 2 hours, depending on your math. It's a pretty complex game.
Newsflash 1956. The space race is underway. Different nations are competing to become the first to get into space, survey new worlds, and discover the other mysteries of our solar system. Can you manage your nation's finances, deal with uncertain rocket technology, and beat the damned Ruskies to the moon?
The game is played over a number of turns, each representing a year, and ends in 1976. The winner of the game is the player with the most points when the game ends. Competitive. Only one space program can be acclaimed the world's greatest. Push your luck. Untested rockets have a tendency to explode. Do you risk it all or spend money and time testing? Player turn. At the start of the game, pick a nation, take their 5 ship tokens and collect 25 bucks. This amount will be your income every single turn and you can't keep money between turns. Deal out the objectives for the game. Some will be easy, like deploying the first satellite into space. Others will be much harder, like returning a sample from Mars to Earth. Let's use the lunar survey as a sample mission. The easiest way to do this is to send a probe into the lunar flyby area. Note that each area has a number, showing how difficult each move is to do. Moving from Earth to a lunar flyby is difficulty 1. Getting from Earth to orbit is difficulty 8. You have to plan your missions, and it's best to do this in reverse. Objects have mass, as shown in the top left of the card. We need the probe and a rocket to move it. The rocket provides 4 thrust, as shown at the bottom right. To do the move needed, you need thrust equal to the mass moved times the move's difficulty. So 2 mass and 1 difficulty means the 4 thrust is enough. But first we need to get to orbit, and that needs a much bigger rocket. Your ID card has a table with shortcuts on it. We cross-reference difficulty 8 and see a Soyuz rocket can put 1 mass into orbit, so we need 2 for this move. But first we need to buy the technologies needed for these rockets and surveying. Each technology starts with 3 outcomes on them that you draw when they are used. If you launch the mission and drew this outcome, the whole ship would explode. You can pay $5 to remove this card after its effects resolve, but as long as there are at least 2 cards left, you have to randomly pick one each time it is used, until either no cards remain or the last one is a success. So now we have tested our tech, we fire our Soyuz rockets and reach orbit, then our Juno to reach the lunar flyby, and finally we use surveying to reveal the moon and claim the VP card. More complex missions will require much more planning. Why would you like this game? This game is clearly a passion project for the designer and it shows. The game captures the feeling of running a space program with the long-term planning and risk management that entails. There are dozens of different missions you can use in the game that will change it up, as well as different technologies and pieces of equipment. And finding the best way to do missions using these technologies is the core of the game. And if you get tired of exploring the inner planets, the expansion adds the rest of the solar system for a truly epic game. It's great for groups, but just as solid solo. The best thing about this game is seeing someone testing to do a mission and then jumping the gun ahead of them and hoping your untested technology works. However, the game comes with a fair bit of mathematics required, and while the reference sheets help, the ability to do basic arithmetic very quickly is huge. If totaling up numbers sounds more like punishment than fun, this game won't be for you. And some turns in the game will be very different lengths, like buying a Saturn rocket for 15 bucks and testing it while your opponent plots a complex mission. And this is a homemade game. Supply can be patchy and you won't find it in many stores. If you like the idea of leaving Earth but want something far simpler, check out Farlight. And if our solar system isn't enough, check out Expedition Zeta. Leaving Earth, it's above and beyond. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and check out our Patreon.